So nobody's surprised really that Catherine Connolly is the fourth person on the presidential ballot. Pretty much, it's pretty much all but confirmed now that she does have the numbers. She has the Social Democrats backing, People Before Profit, Solidarity, and there's a lot of backing too from a lot of college people and stuff. There's a lot of backing from there, and obviously some councillors and stuff. So she pretty much is guaranteed to be on the ballot. There's no doubt about it. We still don't know about the Labour Party. We wait and see. We won't probably know tomorrow. I think Ivana Bacik seems to be very happy about it. So the left kind of were talking about the left group, including we don't. I think the Green Party are backing it to the Green Party, Social Democrats, People Before Profit, and Sinn Féin are talking about a united candidate. So I presume Sinn Féin probably will go with Catherine Connolly too. I presume, but I know the Labour Party definitely probably will. So I don't know about Sinn Féin. Sinn Féin might win the one candidate, but we'll see what happens. But there's no surprise there that, in my opinion, that Catherine Connolly's going for it, and will. I don't know, will she not probably win it? We have to see who the other candidates. It all comes down to this, really, pretty much, in my opinion. It all comes down if Bertie O'Haran goes for Fianna Fáil. Because the thing about Bertie O'Haran, not likely I'm going to vote for Bertie O'Haran or any of them, pretty much. Unless they offer the moon out and stars. But that's out there on the Heron. You cannot really do much. You're just kind of a figurehead. You have no really powers. So pretty much you're voting for nothing. Because they can't change nothing really in an ordinary Irish person's life. Like we voted in the government in November, nothing has changed. Things have got worse. And they're supposed to be the ones with the power and stuff. But, that's all gone out the window. But in relation to Fianna Fáil, we won't know probably yet. But I presume that Bertie Ahern will go for it. And if Bertie does go for it, you know yourself, a lot of elderly people think the world of Bertie. They think he's a great fella, that he was great at winning the money in the horses, of course. So they say. Allegedly, of course, too, that he won the money in the horses, but we won't go there. But and then obviously, we're pretty much for Fine Gael, I think it'd be Marion McGuinness, Marie McGuinness. I was thinking of somebody else, Marie McGuinness, which is the former European Commission. Obviously, 800,000 euro more richer and stuff, but obviously never done anything for Ireland pretty much in the European Union. Let the European Union abuse us. So great stuff, Fine Gael. But apart from that, we don't really know really anybody else confirmed, because it's pretty much guaranteed. What I'm trying to say, Catherine Connolly is pretty much guaranteed. There's no really way that she's not going to get the nominations, because of course this is the thing about the Irish presidency, because people keep thinking it's like America and it's like other countries, that you just kind of turn up you go on for the presidency, but that's not the case in Ireland. You need the backing of 20 members of the Oireachtas, either the Dáil or the Seanad. And that's not as easy as you take to get the backing of them. And then obviously too, you need the backing of 4 county councils. So say for example Cavan or Monaghan County Council or Carlow County Council. You need the backing of 4 local authorities pretty much, which is easier said than done. You need to convince them. And take for example a lot of county councils is Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. You're the mainstream political party. So particularly as an independent, you're fighting a losing battle pretty much to try and get on the ballot, because pretty much the main parties control the local authorities and stuff. And now obviously in the majority of cases in the Dáil too and the Seanad, there's not many. There's a good few. There's more independence than there were before, of course, but still there's less than the mainstream political parties. And obviously, posting in Fianna Fáil is not going to back an independent or something like that. They're not going to do that. So we have to wait and see, but it's going to be an interesting election anyway. To see does anything change, pretty much. Does Irish people just say, no, we want a big change? We don't know, or will anybody voting at all? Because notoriously, presidential elections too, they don't get a huge amount of people going out. They do get a good few people, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people don't bother going out and voting. In general too, a lot of people don't bother to go and vote. But particularly when it comes to the presidential election, not many people are that fucked about it. Because there's not, as I say, it's not really any benefit to you or me. It's not really anything. Because the president in the Irish Constitution in Bunnock County, that pretty much states the president's only ceremonial vote. It's not really any role that's any influence on the Irish state and its functions, etc. But anyway, we just wanted to let you know, give my thoughts on the two. I'm not likely probably going to vote, just my personal opinion for a second. I'm not saying you should or you shouldn't or whatever, but we'll talk about near enough the election, what my opinion is, why I'm not voting for, and what's the story, But I would suggest to people to keep an open mind at the moment. But I'm just saying my initial thoughts. Not likely I will vote for Catherine Connolly. there's no other better candidates. Maybe I consider it, but she's made some good speeches, and I'll give her that. And she speaks Irish a good bit. I'm not going to lie to you on that, but I give her credit for that. But I don't know. There's some other stuff by Catherine Connolly. I'm not that sure of. We'll get into the fine print near enough the election, but there's just a few things I'm not too sure about. Not overly too bad. Not overly too bad. Like, it's a no. But still, at the same time, I don't think it will, to be totally honest, because I'm more likely to give it to an independent than, even though Catherine Connolly is an independent, but pretty much, in a way, she has the backing of the Labour Party, Social Democrat and stuff. So pretty much you can argue she's not really an independent. That's where I'm coming from here. Because pretty much you're not really an independent if you get the backing, in my opinion, in my head, if you get the backing of the Labour Party, Social Democrats and People Before Profit, you're not really an independent, let's put it that way. Because you're pretty much under the banner of them. If that makes, you get what I'm coming from. But I'd rather go for an independent that was elected, but like got independent backing. You know, if that makes any sense, or independent, smaller parties backing, then, you know, People Before Profit and stuff like that. And not to mention, I don't really agree with the Labour Party, the Social, contrary to popular belief. I don't agree with the Social Democrats here. Shocker. But, you know, that's probably the reason why. But we talk about the fine print near enough the election. But anyway, let me know what you think. Would you vote for Catherine Connolly? I suppose it's up to the Irish people. What would you think? Would you vote for her? Would you vote at all, I suppose, in the way too? What's the story? Let me know what you think. Goodbye.